All right, today we are going to work on 5-2, estimating quotients with two-digit divisors. And you can find this on page 122 in your math book. So let's go ahead and flip open to a fresh page in your spiral and write down our question for the day. So our question for today is, your school needs to buy posters for a fundraiser. The school has a budget of $147. Let's highlight that because we know we're going to need to use it. Each poster costs $13, another important number. About how many posters can your school buy? Well, what is the word in that last sentence that lets us know that we are using estimation? The word about. And the main thing they're asking us to find, the main question, is how many posters can our school buy? So we know by sitting in Mrs. Clammer's lovely math class that to find out the exact number, we would have to do 147 divided into 13, right? That would give us the exact. But our question's asking us about, so we have to estimate. So can you divide these two numbers easily in your head? 147 divided by 13? No, you cannot. And remember how you used compatible numbers when you learned how to estimate products? So what are numbers that are close to 147 and 13 that would also be easy to divide by using mental math? So I'm going to use the compatible number or round up here to 150. And I'm doing that because 13 is really close to 15. And we know that by our compatible numbers, this 15 can easily go into that 15, right? So if we're writing it out, we have 15 divided into 150. 15 goes into 15 one time. Now we have our double zero, or we can just add it up top. And we get the answer of 10. So our question was, about how many posters can your school buy? Well, they can buy about 10 posters. So posters would be our label. So you notice that I didn't ask myself up here if that can be, when I round it, I didn't ask myself, could that be a 100 or 200? Because I needed to find something that was compatible, something that went together. So that is how I got the 150. And the 13 changed to the 15 because these two were the same, which makes it easy to divide by. So this is my next problem for you, and I want you to write this down in your spiral, please. So this is your problem, 156 divided into 31. But I want you to use the lovely compatible numbers to estimate the quotient. So I want you to use compatible numbers to estimate the quotient. So what can we change this 156 into, and what can we change this 31 into to make this problem very easy? So let's change 156 into 150. Let's just try it to see how it works. Well, what could we change our 31 to make it easily go into 150? Well, if I round that down to 30, would that be easy? Would that be easy to ask yourself, how many times does 3 go into 15? Yes, it would. 3 can go into 15 how many times? 5. So our answer would just be 5. Because our zeros are canceling out. So I want you to try one on your own. I want you to try this one in your spiral, and this will also be a quiz question. So we're doing 488 divided by 76 using compatible numbers. So I want you to write down what would you change 488 to, and what would you change 76 to in order to make this an easy problem. If you are stuck, I want you to look at the first number here, and I want you to look at the first two numbers here. So let's keep this first number. And let's just round for the sake of this down to 70 because I did want to keep this number. What is a number that's close to 48? Excuse me, what's a number that's close to 48 that we know 7 can go evenly into? 49. And then we just change that 8 to a 0. Now this problem is super easy. Now we say, how many times does 7 go into 49? You are correct, 7 times. And our zeros cancel out. So now this one I really do want you to try on your own. I kind of helped you with that one. So this one is 355 divided into 54. The only hint I'm giving you right now is keep that for right now and think about what that 5 can go into easily over here with those first two numbers. So go ahead and solve that and put your answer in the quiz box. And I'm going to say that you switch this to 50. And I'm going to say that you said, well, 5 can already go into 35. So let's just keep that 35 and make this a 0. 5 can go into 35 how many times? 7. And the zeros cancel out. So your answer would be 7. So let's do one more together and then I'm going to have you try some on your own. So we are going to do this one together. 412 divided by 84, and you still are estimating using compatible numbers. So on your test, you got to make sure that you're reading the directions and when it says estimate using compatible numbers, we have to remember how to do that. So if I stayed true to what I said, I'm looking at the first number in the 84 and the first two numbers in 412. So I want to keep that 8. And I'm just going to change this to a 0. What number is close to 41 that 8 can go in evenly to or fully? We know 8 can go in to, well, let's write our times tables for 8 out. So if I didn't know my times tables off the top of my head, I can write them out. So over here I have my times tables. I have 8 times 3, 8 times 4, 8 times 5, and 8 times 6. So which one of these answers, which one of these answers are close to 41? Yes, 8 times 5 is 40. So let's go ahead and switch this to 40 and switch the 2 to a 0. Now this makes this problem a heck of a lot easier. So we ask ourselves,